So if you like interviews I do that things get heated, this is going to be one of them, because Dame Dash is probably going to be one of the biggest power players in the history of hip-hop, having signed Kanye West. Partner is Jay-Z, that they started Roc-A-Fella in 95, which is kind of weird because a year prior to that is when Tupac got shot up, when he went to visit Biggie. And then next year, 96, September 13 is when Tupac gets killed. And they started at that time where in 1995, the biggest rap songs that came out were some of the biggest rap songs ever. Dear Mama, Coolio, Gangster's Paradise, I Got 5 on it. I mean, you look at this list of stuff that came up in 95 that decided to compete. These guys did an interesting, he said some very interesting things, saying that Diddy and Biggie wanted to be like him and Jay. And then he got upset. Some of the stuff got heated when I asked about Aaliyah and some of the allegations that Diddy's been going through lately. We even talked about, Lyor Cohen, when he said on Breakfast Club, who's Dame Dash? And he really reacted to that in a passionate way. And then we talked Trump. He kept bringing up Trump. Dame, you're going to watch this. You know what I'm talking about, because we had a fun afterwards. But we laughed, we argued, we learned. And it's going to be a very, very entertaining and interesting scope, range of topics that we talked about. And on top of that, Dame is now officially on Connect, which means you can ask Dame any question you want. He chooses how he answers you, but you can download the app Connect. And if you go to this QR code, you can literally text him, okay? Ask him the question, pay for it, and he'll respond back either in a text format, audio format, or video format. But he's now officially also on Connect, answering questions that you may have. There will be parts where you're going to say, but, I want to know about this. How come he didn't say anything about this? And what about that? You'll get to ask him whatever questions you got on Connect. But having said that, enjoy this very entertaining and some moments very heated interview with the one and only Dame Dash.
30 seconds. Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so close I could take sweet victory. I know this life meant for me. Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
Okay, so in the hip-hop world, I'm a guy that came up from the West Coast side. I'm a Tupac. I'm a purely more on the West Coast, but follow a lot of the East Coast, West Coast challenges that was taking place. I'm a class of 96 in high school when I graduated, and we all know what happened in 96 with Tupac. But you cannot mention the word hip-hop and talk about power players that directly, indirectly influenced the entire game without saying the name Dame Dash. You can't. And one of the hardest things to do in a industry like this, or any industry that's a lot of people are trying to fight for the power, is to try to manage three things. Try to stay loved, respected, and feared. It is very hard to do. And he is one of those that was able to do all three, loved, feared, and respected. And now, of course, there's a lot of people that maybe he's going to create some enemies while he's doing that. But you're talking about Roc-A-Fella founder, him and Jay-Z. You're talking about Roc-A-Wear that was doing, I think at one point, $700 million a year, almost $1 billion a year. You're talking about working directly and signing Kanye. If you watch Kanye's documentary, you will see the scene where Dame is sitting up on the stage like this, and he's saying, you can ask Kanye a question, and then Kanye gives us commentary and all the stuff that's going on. Again, we can go on with names left and right, and obviously with all the issues that's taking place right now, recently within hip-hop, there's a lot of names that are coming up. A lot of the raids. I don't know if you know this, one guy named Diddy was raided, his house in LA and in Miami. And now names are being dropped with Jay-Z, and a lot of other names are coming up. And if anybody wanted to make a list of names of people, top 10 that can speak on those topics, that know a lot, that maybe others wouldn't want them to talk about and stay quiet, I think, Dame, you're probably on that top 10 list of people that can comment on a lot of this stuff, specifically a part of history and involvement. With that being said, thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you. That was a hell of an intro.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. Y'all definitely shoot early.
Yes.
So we had to pull up pretty. We're on our way to Gary from here. So yeah, and I was up last night at our studio, but I'm good though. I'm pretty good. I feel secure.
You feel secure?
Yeah.
Define that. What do you mean by secure?
I could go to sleep at night and not have to worry about things. And I think that's the most important kind of wealth, is to be guilty free. Never compromised.
Now, let me ask you obviously there's a lot of things I want to go through here with the time that we have together. Lots of stuff that I want to talk to you about. For a guy like you, who we've watched you from the other side, right? We've watched you in interviews, in Roc-A-Fella, in stories, in your fire, in your interview with Breakfast Club, boss, entrepreneurship, business, hustle, the fight, the grind of coming up. Do you still have the same fire as a startup entrepreneur, survival? Do you still have that fire today at this phase of your life?
It's a different kind of fire, but definitely the fire is way iller, just based on being confident of success. So once I complete a dream, I dream bigger. So, and the fight that I've been having is just kind of remaining sucker free. Again, being in a position where someone wants me to do something that I feel might compromise my morals or my integrity, I always had the wherewithal to say, get the fuck out of here. Don't ever ask me no shit like that. And then also be able to be like, yo, did y'all hear what they just said? And then I've been able to actually see people look the other way. So in my world, it's making my dreams come true. And unfortunately, unless you're savvy enough or have someone around you that knows how to raise you money and knows how to do those kind of things, you got to do it yourself. And you have to sometimes create your own industry if you don't want to fit into somebody else's, because the people that are running that industry, again, have a different kind of moral compass. So my fight has always been to do things fairly and to do things without robbing creatives and fighting those that are robbing creatives, and then to continue to dream for myself while I'm dreaming for other people. So everything I do is a startup, from my new television network, America New, from these glasses I have on, CEO glasses, the sneakers, to the books. I'm on my way to, go do schools with my girl, to read books, go talk to the mayor of Gary, who Eddie Milton, who I was a big part of his election, and a man that taught me how to pass laws. And then I'm bouncing over to a jail in Chicago, a kids' jail, to shut it down. Because, if you could really understand how they're torturing our kids when we're not looking, why that recidivism rate is at 99%, is because most of these kids can't read. They're torturing them. They're making them live in moldy jails. And I'm not going to say any names right now. I'm on my way to Chicago. But if they don't shut that jail down or fix what's wrong with it, I'm going at everybody. So that's been me, the guy that protects people that can't protect themselves, as well as having to make my own dreams come true without dealing with people that would make me compromise my morals. And at the same time, because I have so many ideas and so many different things to make things work, I have to do it myself out my own pocket. You know what I mean? So when you're dreaming in verticals, which I am, I do the octopus thing, and there's always 10 different things that I'm working on at one time. And, I'm not raising any breads. When a dollar come here, it goes into something else. A dollar come there, it goes into something else. So the original question you asking me, do I have that fire? More than ever, because I'm not using other people's money. I know who to stay away from, who I got to stay away from, so I can sleep well at night. And I'm trying to help the world, So again, I'm also down with this OSG, which is the principles, hundreds of principles from economically challenged places. And I go into the schools, I talk to the principals, I talk to the teachers. We have a syllabus from the womb to 3 years old. And like I said, this OSG is hundreds of principles from economically challenged places. And what I do know and what I'm conscious of are the real problems, the things that make the cycles continue to happen, where it doesn't behoove us, but it behooves somebody else. And now I know the problems, but I know how to actually bring the answers. And I can do that through entertainment. I could do that through, education. I could do that through anything, any language you speak, I can speak to you through that language. So yeah, the drive is there more because I know how to fix the things that are wrong.
Very cool. So and Dame, for you, where did you get your mindset from? Because I've had a lot of
from Harlem,
Italian, and from Harlem. So
Harlem,
but from
did you see Paid in Full?
Yeah,
movie Paid in Full.
But what I'm talking about is I have New York was also filled with a lot of Italian mobsters, right? And they ran it in a certain way. And you're coming up from Harlem, and you're doing what you're doing. Was there any inspiration that came from how the Italian mob family built what they built, or not at all?
Definitely. A big influence was The Godfather. So I read the book when I was younger because I wanted to know what he was thinking as opposed to what he was saying. And the ideals that came with being The Godfather. But also a big influence was, the people that I grew up around, my family. Honor and integrity looked so cool. The Godfather and the way he carried things, it just was cool to do things in a way that, because honorable's not always convenient. It's never convenient. There's always a test that comes with it to see if you're going to do what's the right thing or do what's easy or what appears to be. And, The Godfather, all those movies, I'm young, Scarface.
Was it direct contact with any of them or not at all?
What you mean?
So, for example, I've had Sammy the Bull on.
Oh, did I know any Italian?
Yeah.
Well, I had a barbershop on 112th Street, and this dude named Chill sold it to me. And we used to sell weed in the back and had the barbershops in the front. And apparently he had bought it from some Italians on 116th and Pleasant. And, they were trying to take the shot, but he sold it to me. So I had to go down to Pleasant with him, and they were like, hey, Chill, you got a lot of nerve coming down. And also I went to school across the street from Rayos. So I went to Manhattan Center, so... we had interaction, and then, there would be funerals I would go to for people in my family, like my grandmother and all that, and the whole mob used to be there, so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I can't really talk about that.
Who had the biggest influence? I know you talk about...
So many different people, man.
And I guess what I'm asking is, who toughened you up? Who taught you street to know how to take that mindset of street of the word you said, sucker free, right? Because a lot of times... As the saying goes, when a man with money meets a man with experience, the man with money leaves with the experience. The man with the experience leaves with the money. Okay? So how do you go from that world to in the business world and then, hey, $19 million, you book Jay-Z on a tour, and then boom, you're doing deals with all these bigger guys. How did you know you could handle sitting across the table from these guys and negotiate with them?
So if you saw Paid in Full, that was a story that really happened. And I'm about to do the TV show on my own network or collaborative with another. But when you're in survival mode, and the people around you bring you up a certain way. Like I was born into an honor code. I never knew anything different, and there was always accountability. So if I did something that would be against the grain, it would be like having a business and a board that would just be very, like you did. Like I wasn't allowed to have a tattoo while I was in the street. I was taught that. Like I was taught how to do everything. Like unless, to me, the only way, and to me a successful criminal, if there is such a word, is one that never goes to jail. And the only way you can do that is if you're advised by an OG or other criminals that have done it before. So I got a formula of how to survive, and it was just being thorough and acting a certain way. And it's nothing that is innate. It's people teach. That's why we need men in our lives. Men need to be raised by men, or at least someone that can give them, with a little more testosterone than estrogen. And again, if you do some clown shit, I got a whole team that's going to be on my head, And then when you become at a position of a leader, you have to lead by example, because what you do, your crew will do. So if you're a goofy, you're going to have a goofy crew. If you're late, your crew's going to be late. I would never send anybody in my crew on the front line to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So, being a boss means caring a little more about your crew than yourself. So, and I don't have any disrespect. I don't get into the politics thing too much. No matter who's in charge, I'm going to do my thing. But, I lean a certain way. But, I would talk to Kanye a lot about Trump. And he'd be like, yo, he's a winner. And he just keeps winning. This was back in the day. And I'm like, well, to me, his whole crew is in jail. So if I'm out and Kanye went to jail and Jay went to jail and people died on my watch and everybody is doing bad and I'm doing good, then I gauge that as an unsuccessful boss. And that means that they're not winning, they're losing. A real boss cares more about the people that he works with before himself, almost like how a parent cares about their family, And again, a lot of what I was taught wasn't to stay in one place. It was to evolve. If I got one block, I need two. If I was able to get one bird, I flip. I make another. What the street taught me was how to be independent. And when you're dealing with people that, if you don't play the game right, will kill you or you will go to jail, pivoting into a place where the recourse isn't jail. Well, I didn't think it was back then, you know what I'm saying? Or jail or death or murder. It's very easy. There's no fear there, you know? And, you know, I made a movie about what made me pivot. It was Paid in Full. So people that I looked up to got killed and their brothers got kidnapped. And I'm like, you know, if that can happen to them, it can happen to me. So I just took the arrogance and the confidence of the survival of Harlem when crack first came out, the glory days, you know, when you know, I've been lucky enough to know in Harlem damn near every person in my generation that people talk about, like people that people put in raps, I hustle with, or, you know, I was friends with, or still am. And then go into the rap business, and, you know, for the last, like, since 2000, no, let's say 96, well, I started in, like 96, 94, and it's 2024. And, you know, up till last week, people are still saying my names in raps, from Biggie Smalls to Future. Future's talking about my past in the present, you know? So that's the impact that I've had and knocking the world down. But again, it was my survival skills and the Harlem, the accountability of people, and then being scared of going to jail, because that was fear for me. I did not want to go to jail. That's why I knew I wasn't cut out to be a criminal, because unless jail is all right with being on your resume, actually, you know, that it's 85 to 90% chance at some point you got to go, and you have to be all right with that, and you won't be able to get yourself out by, you know, if you're honorable, by telling on the people that you did the work with that you actually care about. Mm-hmm. If you're not willing to kill, then you got to stop. You got to pivot. So at a certain age, I'm like, yo, I'm not willing to do all this shit, especially time.
How old were you when you made that decision? 18. Okay.
You know, actually at 16, I put myself in boarding school, South Kent.
This was right after mom passed?
When my mother died, I went to the street hard, heavy. I was hustling hard. You know, I was on 142nd and Lenox with the lynch mob. I wasn't down with the lynch mob. I was on the same block as the lynch mob. And those are my boys. And, you know, what happened was when I was 15, because I was spoiled my whole life. My mother made sure I had everything. And, you know, I grew up in 1199, which, you know, if you're from New York, it's like, you know, it was like day camp. It was gyms, and it was like the suburbs in the hood. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing.
How did mom make money?
She did everything. She was an entrepreneur. So she would sell clothes. She would sell anything. She was an entrepreneur. She had to get a job. She got a job, but I went on vacation. She was like, knew how to buy things wholesale. So I always had sneakers, 10 pair of sneakers. I had the pinball machine. I was a spoiled kid. And my mother died when I was 16. But what happened was when I was 15, because I was spoiled, I'm like, Mom, these Suzuki Jeeps had come out. They were only 10 grand. And I'm like, Mom, can you buy me a Suzuki? She's like, man, you can't even drive a car. You're 16. You can't get in New York. You can't get a license until you're 18. So I got kicked out of every private school that you could get kicked out of, and they put me in Manhattan Center, the one that's across the street from Rayo's. And I grew up with legends like Carlton Hines, and it was an ill time over there. That's where I learned the game. And, you know, my mother died. Well, I started to hustle there, and then when my mother died when I was 16, you know, my homeboys, they started to do things that I wasn't ready to do. They was my age. They started catching bodies. And I had the opportunity to have a scholarship years before because I used to box at the boys' club, but I went and got homesick. And they were like, if you ever want to go, go. So when my mother died, that year I hustled hard. My boys started to get a little crazy. And I just put myself in boarding school. Like
independently?
Yeah. I didn't want to have to kill anybody.
So who...
it was guaranteed.
The way you were going with the friends that were taking people out?
No way I wasn't. Yeah. So it was like everyone had bodies. Like everyone had a body. And we were teenagers. We were young.
Did somebody check you? Meaning, like, was there a man? Because you know how you said...
you couldn't check me. Nobody could check me.
Not even like an uncle or a coach or a father?
You got to think about getting more money than anyone older than you. And the only people that are around me that had more money than me got it from hustling. So that's all I knew at that point.
Could they check? Was there anybody that's like, damn, you got to leave this life? And
well, it wasn't leave this. Okay, so you
know what I'm asking, right?
I'm telling you, and the dynamics of my family. they kind of found out I was in the street in certain blocks. And I remember I had my cousin with me, and he was like, and they were like, "Yo, you can't have both of y'all out there. We can't watch both of you." And I was like, I didn't know y'all was watching me at all, because I was doing my own thing. And I wouldn't say super check, like Malik Yoba, like I grew up with them as well. Those guys were older than me, and I hustled on the West Side, and I'm from the East, and most cats from the East Side couldn't really do that, go to the West Side and scramble, and so those guys were older than me. They were like kind of R&B dudes, and they used to do things I didn't, but they were like older, and they kind of raised me up to that point, and they always just be like, because they never hustled, they'd be like, they would give me a hard time, but
there was no man that you feared that kind of put you in your place and said, "Damn, leave this life."
No.
Nobody like that.
No. There were men that I don't say feared. Like I had, there would be things that my crew would be doing or people that I looked up to, and I'd be ready to go. Like, I'll throw on my black right now, let's go. And they would be like, "Nah, you stay here." And I used to wonder why. But years later, if you look at the network, I was able to make a movie about it called Honor Up. And I was able to put my real OG, the person that hit me with my first pack, in the movie and have him act as my OG. And, when I was able to ask him on the set, like, why y'all, when he was like, "Yo, it wasn't for you, man. We knew that you had a better life, and we bet right." So, OG's job is to make sure that someone doesn't hurt themselves if they're a real OG. And there's been plenty of times I've had to have that conversation with people like, "Yo, you killing, man? Like, that's not sustainable." And I tell them, like, it ain't no girls in jail. But as far as for me, it wasn't no one that could scare me out of hustling other than the street itself. So the situation that happened with Paid in Full, Rich Porter and all that, that's what scared me. And that's when I pivoted out the street and I went into music. But then getting into the music business, I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm out of here. And that's what made me pivot into fashion and doing all the other things that I did.
So 89, you're 18 years old because you're born in 71, right? So 89, you're 18, you leave it, you go into music, bless you, you go into music. What do you do between 89 and 95 before you start Roc-A-Fella? Like, what were you doing then to make money?
So I had got a record deal at 19 with Atlantic, with Kevin Woodley. He was in there, I'm not going to say Kevin Woodley, Clark Kent. So what happened was my cousin, Darian, Stacey Dash's brother, he always was doing some, trickery with some brilliant, he always had like a scam going or a scheme, but intelligent as hell. And he was like, "Yo, you get money, we should get in the music business." And I'm like, "I'm not getting that right now. I didn't have too much of an interest in it, And, when things got hot, as far as with the Paid in Full situation, then I entertained it. And he went to college, and his stepfather, Cecil Holmes, he was the president of Casablanca Records and a big A&R, and his A&R or intern was Kevin Woodley, who now worked at Warner or Atlantic. So they sent me over there. Well, I was going over there, or Cecil hooked it up so that we could go and meet this, dude Kevin Woodley, who was A&R at Atlantic, and he had me shopping these two groups over there, and I kept going over there. I'm 19, I'm 18, I'm going back and forth. They curving me, keeping me in the lobby, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And I ran into Clark Kent in the lobby, and he had just got there. And he basically signed my first acts with East West and with Atlantic. But I had Original Flavor and the Future Sound. But when we got signed, Daz Effects got signed. And I remember Clark let me hear the demo. I'm like, those dudes are ill. And I actually stole the demo. I stole it, but he left it in my car, and I made a copy of it. And I was playing it for everybody. But, when they came out, they did so well that Original Flavor and the Future Sound got left behind completely, and then I had to learn how to do it myself. So Clark Kent introduced me to Jay-Z. He introduced me to Ski from Original Flavor.
Got it.
He brought me all around the country because he was a DJ, and he was like just showing me the game. So I would go with him, and we had this thing that when he would sign an artist, I'd give him $10,000, and he'd go buy Pellies. And I was like, in the music business, there was always some type of skim going on, some way, shape, or form. With every transaction, someone got paid a little on the side. See, that's the problem with the music business, because the things that were going on back then, I just don't think they'd be legal now. In hindsight,
so that wouldn't be legal today to do.
He worked for Atlantic, and he's giving me.
I got it. Makes sense. Totally get it.
So a lot of times with people
selling away,
a lot of suckers, like what a lot of people do is they have access to somebody famous or somebody that people think that can get them the plug. They'll make you like, if you want to have a meeting with such and such, they'll make you pay them. And then they won't tell the boss. They won't that they actually just got some money to let this person come in and meet you and not breaking bread with
purely for an introduction. You're getting paid, and then it's on you to close or sell or do whatever you do.
Yeah, but you don't let the person that's doing that know.
Got it.
So again, it's like the government, man. It's people that don't use their own money that pay a lot of people. They pay who they want to pay. What I'm coming to find out is they usually pay the person that they're physically entangled with, whether it's male or female. You know what I mean? And that's the way it moves around like that. So it was like friends keep the money and they pass it off to other friends, whatever connection they have, and that's the way you got to get a deal, and everyone gets paid. So even in the government, you think you're outsourcing everything to the private sector. So you don't think anyone's ever getting some kind of... Everyone gets a kickback. That's all it is.
Sure. I mean, that's how the whole lobbyists make their money. It's another form of lobbying, was what you're saying.
Just like raising money. You raise money, you get a promote, whatever.
Right.
It's the same thing, bro.
So Clark Kent from Atlantic is giving you these guys, and he's a DJ. You give him $10,000, and that's so. Then through him, you meet Jay. Yeah. At this point, before you met him, did you know? Have you heard about
Not
Jay?
At all.
Nothing. When did you know he had a special talent with Jay?
I knew he could rap because he could rap really fast, but him and I were just real cool because, we were at that time. I started getting back in the street a little bit. Had the plug.
Right.
So I passed him the plug. You know what I mean? Because he was hustling different. He was still copping from the hill, so I had to introduce him to his man, somebody he's still with to this day. And also another. I just what I usually do is come to a block and be like, you're not hustling right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, get him out of here, cut the middleman out, get it, and that's what I kind of did. Like, I didn't even want to, I don't even get to that story, but, it was like, we just started to kick it and do things in the street but not the street, but, elevate whatever game that he had, as well as us being on the road and him rapping with original flavor. And, for a long time, I shopped Jay to every single record company. They all said no. Kevin Lau said no. Lyor said no.
Lyor said no.
Yeah, Kevin Lau's worked for Lyor. And
wow,
they all said no, bro. Every single one of them. No one. That's why I didn't do it myself. I tried to get him signed, but I couldn't.
What were they saying? When they said no?
Too old, rap too fast. Jazz had, he was with Jazz, and Jazz wasn't so successful.
Yeah.
So it's just his look. Like, he didn't. So what happened was, he's from Brooklyn. Right? And again, what you'll see a lot of time is they're always saying I'm talking about him. But if you ask me questions about my story, he's part of it. So I don't like to really talk about him so much. But he was a Brooklyn cat, and he dressed like a Brooklyn cat. He didn't, he didn't have it all together the way. So my guys used to tease him all day. Every little thing he did, they thought was corny, and we just kind of Harlemed him up. You know what I mean? But initially, we thought he was cool. I thought he was cool because he was wearing Nike Airs, and most dudes at the time from Brooklyn didn't wear Nike Airs, and so that's why I kind of thought he was cool. But I knew he could rap, and then we got to know each other in a different way. Pause. We were doing certain things like passing the plug, and we became brothers. And then, we started Roc-A-Fella just because no one else would sign us.
That's it.
That's it.
So let me ask you. So was there? How sometimes
we tried it the easy way and it didn't work out. And again, if I'm a thorough person that comes from a certain cloth, if I walk in a room full of people that are completely different, raised different value systems, and they're asking me to do certain things, like the day we did the deal with Def Jam as a co-venture, Lyor asked me to go fight another black man for him. And I'm like, are you fighting any of my battles? But he tried me. It was like immediately he tried me to make me fight his battles in a culture that wasn't. And I just knew how to say no. Like, what I can do clearly is, it doesn't make me, because I'm a businessman. See, creatives, it's hard for them to say no. They're non-confrontational. They speak through their art. And you can push a creative to do things in the moment because they don't know how to verbally defend themselves. With me, I have no problem being honest and telling you the truth. I don't have a problem asking for my money or saying how much am I getting paid or how much are we getting paid, how we break. Those questions that make people, especially creators, awkward, don't make me feel awkward, you know? So that was always my job.
What a great combo, though.
Yeah.
What a great combo.
It's a 1-2 punch.
Right, that was fantastic. So let me ask you, you know how when I was 21 years old, I'm broke, I got nothing going on, there's this Denny's we would go to, and I would sit with one of my friends, Saul, who's upstairs right now, and it was me, him, and another guy, and we would dream, hey, one day we're going to do this, and we're going to take over the world, and blah, 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 here's what we're going to be doing. Did you and Jay have that moment, and then you said, you know what, screw it, we're going to call it Roc-A-Fella? And is it, called after Roc-A-Fella because we're going to become tycoons and moguls? Was there a moment between the two of you?
It wasn't between the two of us. It was a crew of us. But I used to sit and write and plot all day, and I still do. So if you ask my crew now, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is we get around the table, get the colored papers and the markers, and we talk about how we going to eat. It's always been that plot and plan, always. And it was more like a moment that we were in St. Thomas, me, him, and Biggs, and we were like, fuck it, let's just do it ourselves, But we always knew we had to do it ourselves. It kind of felt like, at least I did, just based on the way the system was set up. And no one in that business listens to you unless they have to. You understand what I mean? Like, a lot of times, people that are in a position of power in the music business are in a position of power because, again, they're willing to compromise and do things that, the average man would not do. And I wouldn't do that. So then at the end, you get people that have funny ways in those positions that only look out for people that they have things on. And they only listen because they don't like a person that will compromise everything to get to the top. But once they get to the top, that person that they didn't like and disrespected before, that might got sent to the store or sent to drive someone's car, all of a sudden they're your boss. And you hate that person, but you have to listen to them,
right?
Because they're going to be now the person in position of your destiny. Even in the music business, like I'll know a PD, like a program director or someone that, does the videos and or works in a position where they can, help an artist. And when they walk in the room, every artist and everybody kisses their ass. The minute they lose that job, no one talks to them no more, because they don't have to. So I don't talk to people unless I want to, which may not be the best business acumen, but based on the temperature right now, I'm really happy I stuck to my guns.
By the way, I just Googled right now, 95, top 40 hip-hop songs of 95. Okay, so this is when you guys start Roc-A-Fella. Here's who's on this list. Number 1, Dear Mama, Tupac, okay? Then they have Mobb Deep, Shook Ones, Part 2. Then it's KRS-One, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, right? Then you have Loonies, I Got 5 on It, which was a big hit. Method Man, I'll Be There For You, You're All I Need to Get By, featuring Mary J. Blige. You got Old Dirty Bastard, Shimmy Shimmy Ya, so that was a big hit. GZA, Liquid Swords. Then you have Runnin'. Then you have Ice Cream featuring Method Man, Ghostface. Then you got Dre, Keep Their Heads Ringing. Tupac, So Many Tears.
See the competition?
This is insane. So I'm the first of the month, Bone Thugs and Harmony. That was an incredible album.
Yeah,
you got Ice Cube, Friday. This is 95. We're talking about all the Mobb Deep, Survival of the Fittest.
You got to remember, back then there was no internet. So only a select few were getting heard, and in order to get heard, you had to be like super, and that was what we had to break into. Guys like that had record deals or people, majors backing them. So, that's what was like kind of incredible. But, in hindsight, you got to remember when I was doing all those things, I was 21, 22. I retired from Roc-A-Fella at 35, So those things I was doing was self-taught and no one gave me, no nepotism, did it ourselves and was making more money than mostly every single person that I had met in my life. In my family, my teachers, my principals, everyone that I thought was rich, I had more money than by the time I was 22 or 23. In business, I had a bigger first generation business. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm around people that are like, first, second, third generation, and it's a different life when you don't have to worry about nothing ever since the day you opened your eyes. It might not be less stressful, because everyone has the same amount of problems, no matter money, race, or whatever. But it's just different first generation. So when I'm around people that got money and they got it from their family, I don't care how much money they got as far as the character, because I'm first generation. I'm out here fighting. I'm that person's father or grandfather. You know what I mean? So, and in school, it was like that. When I went to boarding school, anywhere I go, I always took pride in the fact that I could break a social class at such a young age on my own without any help from anybody that was related to me.
And by the way, while you're saying, I mean, obviously, I relate to that. I relate to what it is to be. My dad was a cashier at a 99-cent store yesterday. 99-cent store shut down all their stores. He was a cashier at Inglewood, California, right next to Great Western Forum. By the way, Gangster's Paradise also came out that same year. But let me continue with this here. 94.
We hit like a 96.
I know, but what I'm going here is 94, November 30th, 94 is when Tupac gets shot, right? When he's in the studio, Biggie, the whole controversy, what happened there. Then he comes out, then he gets shot the second time, 9/6, 96. 9/13 is when he dies. He writes Hit 'Em Up, 6/4, 96. So you're starting 95. You said you're in St. Thomas. You guys are talking about Roc-A-Fella with Biggie and Jay-Z. What's East Coast?
Biggs.
Oh, Biggs. I'm sorry. They said okay. So what's East Coast, West Coast looking like at this time? How hot are things right now?
I mean, they was beefing with Biggie, so we were like the only ones that would stand next to Biggie at the time. So if you notice, we made records. Brooklyn Finest, which I produced with Clark Kent, was made, and he was in our videos. Ain't No Nigga and all that. Biggie was the only person that I used to smoke with. I didn't smoke before at all. We used to drink. And, supposedly Jay and Big went to school together, but Jay didn't know him, And our thing was, because we were doing the stuff like going in and getting the money and doing the popping the bottles and all that, in that moment, we had always felt that Biggie and Puff were copying us. Always. They were always, like, they'd see us in the club and it seemed like the next day, a record would be made.
You thought Biggie and Puff were copying you guys?
No, they were. No
and
doubt.
Who's we? It's you and Jay?
Yeah, my whole crew, Roc-A-Fella.
So
we was really getting money. You know what I mean? So, no disrespect to Biggie, but it was a different hustle. We weren't like on the street pitching work. You know what I mean? We was a connect. So it was a different kind of thing. But that lifestyle of hustler and all that was us. That was them copying us, for sure. And, so we kind of had problems. So I would like run up sometimes, and I was confrontational with Biggie and him at first. And but when we finally got cool, and he came to our video, because again, this is when no one would mess with him. He came through, and again, we were strategic. So every time we did a video, we'd have a meeting about what would be the most Big Willie shit we could do. So what we came up with, we go to BBQs and have a whole meeting about it. I'm down with a crew called The Best Out from Harlem, and it's a lot. It was a lot of hood structure to it. You know what I mean? Like we had board meetings in certain places and shit like that. But what we came up with was using real money, play Monopoly with real money, and just had Cristal all over the table. So, a lot of heavyweights were there, and he pulls in, and we start kicking it. And I'm like, man, we get into a drinking contest, and he's 300 pounds. And I just got too drunk this night. He got too drunk. We both got drunk. And the next day, Biggs and Jay hit me, and they're like, you was no good last night. Or Jay really did. And that was like the first time he'd ever said anything like that. And I called Biggs. I said, what happened? He was like, man, you was telling him he's your favorite rapper. You were all trying to get in his car. I was like, what? So then, I got mad or whatever. We went down to Daddy's house, and we booked them to open up for Jay in New Orleans so that Jay could perform in front of him. And then we got real cool. And then from there...
For Biggie to open up in front of Jay?
No, So we booking Biggie. He could perform.
Yeah.
A lot of people come see Biggie.
Right.
And Jay would open for him.
Jay-Z would open for Biggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we booked.
Right.
We did, yeah.
And at this point, who is bigger?
Biggie.
Okay.
Biggie had a deal with Puff. See, Biggie always wanted to act at that point. Biggie was going to, what was supposed to happen was he did that double album, he was going to do a triple album, then he was going to come to Roc-A-Fella with us.
The commission?
The commission, yeah.
So he was going to do the commission with you guys?
Yeah. I was trying to get so I tried, again, bitch-ass Steve Stout, I tried to sign The Firm, so I was trying to get The Firm, that record in Reasonable Doubt, the AZ, Nas was supposed to show up for that record, but he didn't. But I was trying to give The Firm a deal, I was trying to get the whole, that's why I had signed Clue, But, you know, again, I tell my ideas, and Steve Stout, you know, being the bitch that he is, he would go around my back and do the deals, you know. And, you know, these are the guys that the problem in that business is a lot of non-creative people take advantage of creative people, and they steal the creative people's ideas and then go and sell them to the devil. The devil's money. You know what I mean? And that's what I didn't use. I never used to use the devil's money, and I still won't.
Who's the devil's money?
Whoever's not creative that's exploiting an artist.
Like a Lyor Cohen type of guy? Or?
Definitely Lyor Cohen. He's a culture vulture. I made the term up just for him. You know what I mean?
Did you hear what he said about you on Charlemagne?
Years ago? Yeah, I've been punishing him for that. You know, I benched him. He used to be in the music business, so now, you know, he has to sip.
You're talking about this one here?
Yeah, where he
he says, who's Dame Dash? I don't know who Dame Dash.
So usually what happens, algorithmically, you know, another culture always tries to erase another culture that they're trying to empower's history, so that all their leaders they make don't exist. So that's exactly what they do. They try to erase our history. But the thing where he had the gall was that he did it on one of what supposedly our platform in front of our people, and he did it so recklessly that he was unconscious that we were all watching. So to sit there and say, Damon, I don't know him, what are you saying when he's not around? You're trying to act like he doesn't exist because you want to take credit for everything that he did. And that's what Steve Stout did, and that's what Lyor does. If I'm a person that won't let you rob an artist and your business model is robbing artists, of course you're going to try to paint a picture of me doing things I'm not or being difficult because I'm difficult for you.
Rob,
I don't let you rob the artist.
Can you play the second half of that? Just press play real quick.
You trying to trigger me?
Really
No,
rough.
not at all.
Particularly
no, because
on
I think
women.
you've already addressed it.
But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic.
Oh, this is him saying
I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
that he got
Being a
to
with that
crackhead
said,
wasn't
would
cool
you-
back then. Being a
What?
crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and
It's
to
the
be on
most
these
dangerous.
pills.
It's the
Perks
most
and Molly's
dangerous
and-
thing that's facing our society.
Are you?
So,
Yeah.
so why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't
Are you
paying
talking to him?
attention.
I already answered that question.
She
That's
asked
what it
me
says.
I know what he
talent
said.
or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical, though. You're saying the
It's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed.
We're proud.
I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash?
The one that
brought
called
him
you a
up?
culture
I don't
vulture.
even know him. I don't even know him. So
How many times
you
have you
bring
had meetings
his
with
name
him?
Up. I don't even know.
How
him.
many times
So-
have you sat with them for him to say something like that?
That's why it's ridiculous and everyone laughed at him. I couldn't even count the times how many times he sat with me. You know what I mean? I was his boss. That's how I looked at it. You know what I mean? I was representing my company. He was representing someone else's.
So he needed you because you were bringing opportunities to him.
Well, he needed volume for his company.
Makes sense, yeah.
That's what they needed. You know,
Right.
but it wasn't his company. It was Universal's. They had got bought.
Got it.
And what I never liked about that situation is how did he keep a job and Russell didn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they got Russell sitting in the lobby trying to get a deal. I'm like, yeah, can't do that to Russell. It was Russell's joint. And that's what usually happens, right? The person that starts it, like a Russell, ends up not getting completely the credit for it down the line. So he's going to take credit for Def Jam too. In a minute, he's going to say he don't know Russell. You know what I mean? That's what they do. And the thing that was problematic about that is I didn't like when Charlemagne said, you're going to make Damon call you a culture vulture. Why didn't he just call him a culture vulture and check him right there? And that's the problem I be having with people from our culture. When they got that culture vulture on the show, like a Noriega or whatever, they never ask them the real questions. But they'll ask me everything under the sun. Mm-hmm. See, I say things in public because I'm cool with the accountability. Challenge me. Show me where I'm wrong. Show me a tape or a video with some receipts that prove me wrong. And I'll have a conversation with Lyor, Jay, Steve Stout, any one of those people that have been painting a picture of me being a certain way so that other people won't work with me. I would challenge each one of them and we could, let's see how many people are mad that you robbed and see how many people are mad that I made rich. You understand what I'm saying? And when you hear this, I'm difficult yelling. I've been working with principals that always. If you personally have had an experience with me that's been pleasant, why would you listen to someone say that they've had an unpleasant experience? And the person that's saying they've had an unpleasant experience is usually someone that has way more pleasant experiences robbing artists. I'm just the guy that checks you for robbing artists.
You know what he does now?
Yeah, he works at YouTube. He does customer service.
Can you pull it up? See, he's the global head of music for YouTube.
Right. So that's the reason why they're suppressing CPMs, and they don't give you the full benefit of it. And they're not. YouTube is knocking. You're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know your CPM?
Yeah.
What is it?
It varies depending on what it is and what companies advertise on.
No. It's programmatic. The CPMs is what the money you get from the commercials that you don't get. So you
55%, if that's what you're saying.
No, not from YouTube. You do not get 55%. That's impossible. You wouldn't even be able to get accounting from YouTube. You'd have to get an email, and then they have Tuma get to you. So what happens is, and you're a genius, right? You're smart, you've done business, but you're letting them rob you, and you don't even know how they're robbing, and that's how they take advantage. Do you get the benefit of your data? No, not from YouTube or any other social media or third party that you deal with. You don't. You don't have the ad tech. You don't understand it. Most people do not, right? Because I have a television network and I had to figure out how to do it. I know what programmatic is. I know what it is with ad tech is to have servers and ad tags and ad stacks and waterfalls and all that. I get it now. So what I do know is this. If you're getting a $22 CPM, let's say, you're going to try to figure it out now, right?
Yeah, I am.
So if let's say, generally speaking, if you look at YouTube, they'll be like, you get $3 CPM, right? But you don't know how much they're getting. So they could be getting $23 and they're only giving you $3, no accounting. And again, they're selling your data to advertisers and you don't get the benefit of it. So how smart are you? So that's how they're taking advantage of us. So that's what I had to figure out early. And then I let everyone, even including yourself and everyone else that's in the game and doesn't know how to get paid in the language they speak and don't understand that you're trusting Lyor with your CPMs and he's taking full advantage of you. So that's why I had to build my own. Because I don't care how much money I make. I want to know how much money you make off me and how you get it. So if you're giving me $10, you must be making $100. And I'm not going to do all the work, walk on and be a Johnny and be a sucker and then have to compromise my integrity to get just 10% of what I use. So you got to look back at my past. I'm the guy that was saying, yo, you should own your masters. You know, if you go back to the other Breakfast Club interview, you know, in 2000, whatever it was, and I'm like, yo, calling Charlemagne the Chatty Patty, and I'm telling everybody, I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying, while you have a job, invest in your dream. Or you a sucker because you're working for somebody else's dream. And I know you got to pay the bills, but there's 8 hours, there's 24 hours in a day. 8, you working. You got 16 to do other things.
It's interesting to me that this guy goes from there to not being YouTube global head of music.
Yeah, because he knew how to rob music. He invented the 360. Yeah. So now he knows how to rob. Digital is a whole new world.
It is. I mean,
AI. So think about this. Like, you know, like I said, I do this thing with the principals. A teacher and a principal right now did not get taught about AI, CPM, Web3, or any of the futuristic things that are happening now in school. So how are they going to teach a student? How could the student be smarter than the teacher right now? And that's what's happening.
But that's the case, though.
I know. So then how are they still teaching?
Right.
So he understood the game enough. The reason why the 360 deal was made was he was so mad that they couldn't get no money from Roc-A-Wear because I named it Roc-A-Wear, not Roc-A-Fella, so they couldn't benefit from the name. But people still knew the symbolism. They knew what it was.
So it wasn't owned by Roc-A-Fellers, 2 separate companies, separate entities?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then you had the structure with Jay-Z as the same structure as, like, was it a 50-50 type of deal?
Yeah, between me and him, and then whoever was it. See, the thing is, if I would have known better back then, I would have just licensed it. I wouldn't have split the brand, but, you know, you got to learn. You live and you learn. But also, you didn't mention I put Rachel Roy on, which is high fashion. I put Kevin Hart on. I put Lee Daniels on. In every vertical, it's not just a music. I put people on in every vertical. So the biggest comedian right now, even though he's the shortest, would be Kevin Hart, and he won't help. And, you know, look who's running in music, you know, and in TV, Lee Daniels, you know what I mean? In fashion, Rachel Roy. You know, I've made $100 million companies in every vertical. But the problem is,
what's your net worth today?
Zero zip. It's all in the street. Zip. Period.
When you say zip, you mean everything is in paper right now?
Every single thing I got is in my dreams. I don't hold no money. There is no net worth. I don't believe in that.
If Roc-A-Wear was doing $700 million a year, if you combine all your companies right now, what would you say the revenue is today?
That's gross. That's not net.
No, I know that's the gross.
Billions.
Today?
Oh, now I don't know what Roc-A-Wear's doing. We sold it. And again,
no. What I'm asking is, where are you at today? Like all these things that you have going on right now.
Right now, the volume of America New, 0. Or not 0. We have 50,000 downloads in a couple of.
Got it.
But without raising money. Right now, I'm investing in my vertical. So I have 8 verticals and 8 companies, how would I evaluate it? Well, if I were to say that America New has 50,000 downloads, and I would say the extra strategy would be $100 per download or person that downloads it. That's what I would evaluate. Everyone has a different evaluation. Not $5 million, it would be $50 million. 100 times 50,000.
50,000 times $100.
Yeah.
50,000 times $100 is $5 million.
Oh, so then that would be worth $5 million. So whatever. Yeah. So then, if you look at what the book sold, it's first, and this is year one, year, 6 months in, 3 months in. Book first year, 60,000 books, but there's a whole franchise, the catalog that I have, all of those things.
So let's go back to 95. So at this point, you have Biggie open up for Jay open up for Biggie. Okay, but so you're in between. You guys are doing what you're doing with Roc-A-Fella. You got Diddy's doing what he's doing over there with Bad Boy. You got Pac, all the guys on the West Coast doing what they're doing with Suge. But you're saying they're trying to be us. But
not there. I just said Biggie. At that point, Biggie, and I'm going to say Biggie, but Puff, they were copying us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I can see that because Puff is known for copying. So his model is a form of copying,
well,
right?
Again, in this moment, what we never did, we always had this kind of thing no matter what. He don't knock me, I don't knock him in public. We deal with our things in private and pause. And that was, again, the honor system, that code that I abide by. So I don't sit here and especially now, I can't, even though, I don't know who's right, who's wrong. I just think whoever's lying should get punished, period. Whoever's lying should get punished. You're talking about
with the whole rating and everything that he's going through?
Yeah, so whoever is lying should get punished. So if Puff's lying, then he got to, it is what it is. And if these people are lying on him, then it is what it is. And the truth will come out, period. So, but just because...
how's your relation? Do you guys have a relationship till today or no?
Just as we all know each other, but I was a guy that back then, I'm not an R&B. It's like, you remember Stax Records and Motown? Mm-hmm. I would look at Bad Boy like Motown, and we were like Stax Records. We were more like the gangsters and shit. Not to say like on some tough shit, but just that's what we were about. More aggressive living. And they were more like R&B cats that would be with pants and barefooted and shit like that. So I wasn't doing none of that. So we always had a clear line. There was a respect, but it was always a competition. You know what I mean? So I'm from Harlem. He was from Esplanade, so it's different, But again, I'm not going to do that and knock him just because of respect for the brotherhood of hip hop.
Let me ask the question since we're on this, because again, this is like 1962 and a half. That's when Target, Walmart, Kmart all got started with these super saving centers. Like that was the year. Like what year came up? Walmart, Kmart, Target, 1962 and a half. Hey, what is the era of the American sports car? Late 50s, early 50s. Corvette, Mustang, da-da-da-da-da, right? 1995, 96, like this is the era, right?
Do you know how long ago that was?
I know, but
you can't really expect me to remember every emotion.
Well, no, you're.
No, I'm not going to remember all that.
But I think for a guy like you,
the thing is, the shit I be doing now, occupies my brain more than my past.
I totally get it, but
and to me, it's more impactful. So like, there's also DD 172. Did you know about DD?
I did. I saw DD 172,
and I can show you. Like to me, that was more impactful than Roc-A-Fella. It's just that you know about Roc-A-Fella, but the things that I did, the way it helped and sculptured the DNA now. But I'm listening.
So can I express? Can I share with you maybe where my interest is? Okay, and I'll give you where my interest with this is. So
what you're doing is while you're interviewing me, you're googling shit. And
no, I'm not doing it. Rob is doing it.
That's pretty good. What's your net worth? Because you went to my net worth. Yeah. Again, I think saving money.
I didn't do that.
I think saving money is for suckers.
What he does is he is. Anything you're saying, even when you said the movie, he just pulls it up so you can see it. No, he's not fact checking. He's pulling it up for you to see. But I want to ask you this question. I didn't
pull up DD 172.
Yeah, he did. It's right there, top left. DD 172 is a media collective founded by American entrepreneur Damon Dash. Yeah, he did.
I like that.
So
you guys are prepared.
So the question for you is, so what is a, I don't know, what's the most painful moment in your life?
When Aaliyah died.
Okay. So when that happened, I think we were all shocked.
Yeah, I was broken.
I know you were nobody more than you because you guys.
Our mother and father were, but they didn't move on at all ever, and you can't. But yeah, it was very painful there.
Do you still listen to any of her music or no?
Nah, it hurts so much. Like on her birthday, one day I was listening to it. I forgot with Nicolette and this girl Big Deucer because she's an Aaliyah fan, and I was trying to write for a movie. And that shit had me crying. I was crying. I didn't like the way I felt. that's something. It's a feeling that you have to learn to live with. But I was really in love with her, and she died tragically.
Dame, did that event ever want you to find out exactly who was behind it and what happened, or did you block all the theories that people were presenting behind it? Or was it like, I'm going to get to the bottom of it and find out exactly what happened?
I mean, I knew what happened, so I didn't have to get to the bottom of it.
Does what the media and the market write about what happened match?
If I know what happens, why would I give a fuck about what the media says? That's like saying they're writing about my girl and I'm with her every day. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't do the media so much. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I've heard they said everyone to me gets their turn in some conspiracy.
Right. Yeah.
So again, when you know what people write about you personally, it's hard to believe everything that you read. So no, I don't. To me, it's an oxymoron to be famous or be known and care about what people think. That's the dumbest shit in the world. And to let that dictate what you do, that's weakness. And, I'm not driven by insecurity.
It's not sustainable.
It's not. And that's why a lot of people go nuts, because they're so scared about people that they don't know, that aren't participating in the art they are.
That's a great point.
And they're worried about what these people think. And that's insecurity. I'm not that guy. I've never presented myself as that guy.
You're May 3rd, right?
Yeah, I don't usually care what people think, other than if I respect exactly what you've done and you've done something that I need to do or I'm trying to do. But other than that, unless you're my family and shit, I don't care what nobody think. I'm not going to listen to a conspiracy theory if I know the truth. But I'm not going to tell you what the truth is in this moment. We in public.
Okay.
There's a lot of truths that I know that because I'm just not a sucker and I don't feel like dealing with certain things, that I'm not going to come out publicly, because a lot of things I've been saying and exposing years ago, no one said shit until just now. So if you remember, I was beefing with Harvey Weinstein. I'm beefing with Lyor. I'm beefing with Steve Stout. Most of the people that I'm beefing with, and I'm saying beefing because they're conspiring together, having meetings about how to put me out of business and stop my cash flow. Yeah. That's actually happening.
Do you believe in accountability?
Of course. That's what's happening.
So wouldn't you want to hold people accountable for what they did to Aaliyah?
Yeah.
So
Wait. What happened to Aaliyah that I don't know? What are you talking about?
Can I give you what I...
But don't tell me what you heard on TikTok.
No, not TikTok.
Oh, okay.
It's not TikTok.
Because you're smarter than that.
No, it's not TikTok.
So I always listen to the man that's asking me the question.
Right.
And I know the nature of the question by the intelligence of the man and what their intention is. So just be selective about that question.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and what I respect about you is, Dame, you can simply say, don't want to comment, don't want to say anything, no problem. We'll move on to the next thing. What I'm going to
want to know is why.
Right, no problem.
And then there'll be accountability.
Well, for me, I got 4 kids, and when you see somebody like this who had an incredible voice, and she was in that one movie with Jet Li.
What did you hear, though? What did you hear? What did you hear? My question is, why are you saying a conspiracy?
No, it's not a conspiracy. So what I heard is she's coming up, and the whole challenge where she used to be married to R. Kelly.
She was 15. She wasn't married.
15 years old, right?
Can't be married at 15 to a grown-ass man.
I know, but...
So then why would you still listen to him knowing that they said he married a 15-year-old? Well, that was the issue, that you knew it was illegal to be married to a 15-year-old, and the dude could actually put out a fucking album that says AJ nothing but a number.
That's right.
And y'all going to listen to it and not say a word. That's where people should be ashamed of themselves.
I'm with you. I agree. So
what's the conspiracy?
So then it's not even the conspiracy. So then, R. Kelly and her, then... You
don't know the conspiracy.
Then Jay.
You're looking for a conspiracy?
Then Jay. No, not at all. Not at all. Rob, matter of fact, you may want to stop Googling. Just stop Googling because he's thinking I'm looking at what you're putting up there.
What's the conspiracy that you asked me about?
So then Jay, and then later on with you, she starts,
you're giving me the history,
being with you for you.
You said, don't you want to find out what happened? And I want to know what you heard.
What I'd want to know is,
I'm asking you what you heard happened. She got in a plane crash.
If Lenny Kravitz offer his plane?
Yeah, because Hype did some bullshit.
So why would Hype say no for
Because Hype's a sucker for that. And I'm never going to forgive him for that. So period. We know it ain't no conspiracy. I've been told y'all that. So you asking me, did I find out the conspiracy if I'm curious? I told you I already know. So I'm asking you what you know that I don't.
Yeah.
So if you know something I don't, let me know so I can go deal with it.
I don't.
If you don't, why are we talking about it?
Yeah. So I don't think it's whether I know or you don't know.
What's the conspiracy that you're talking about?
I don't know. It's not even a conspiracy. Is if that was the event. So I guess
that was the event.
Then what the public knows and what you know is the same thing.
So what's the conspiracy? Okay. Where's the gray area?
But where I'm going with that is the frustration with the fact that
that my partner did a fucking album and did a tour with him. That was the frustration.
That's the frustration.
Yeah. And what's the frustration is why y'all didn't say nothing about it. That's what my point was. How is nobody saying nothing about it? Like, this nigga raping girls. They know that it was a girl. He said he married a 15-year-old, And everybody, at that point, until it became common or like it became the in thing to do, wasn't nobody disrespecting R. Kelly. Everybody was still going to his shows. Until it became popular opinion, people weren't looking the other way. So what I was disappointed in every fan that didn't care that this dude was raping a little girl. And actually, tried to, you can't sugarcoat it. You cannot marry a 15-year-old, period, in America. You understand what I'm saying?
The fact
but
that
she died in a plane crash. There ain't no conspiracy there.
Yeah.
There is no conspiracy. The problem was, and again, a lot of things happened behind the scenes to get up to that point, but that's the stuff that people don't know. And I don't feel like talking about all that because it'll open up a whole can of worms.
Yeah. So, again, and I appreciate you for even sharing what you just shared. I know it's a sensitive topic.
You just didn't tell me the conspiracy yet, though.
No, it's not. For me, it's more like, okay, for example.
I was just holding you accountable for your question. You just said accountability. You said, do you go with the conspiracies that you hear? And I'm saying, which one did you hear that I didn't know about? Like, what would I be looking for?
In August 25th of 2001, I was 21 years old applying for a job, 22 years old applying for a job at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. On my first day was 9/10/2001. So at this point, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to go back into the Army and stay in the marketplace. And no one knows what's going on with the story. We're reading about it, and we know what happened till later on. R. Kelly got arrested
in a plane. We all knew what was going on. He made it about.
You're in the world.
No, it was common knowledge that he was married to Aaliyah, or he painted that picture of him being sexually with her at 15.
Yeah,
that was publicized. It wasn't no conspiracy. Everybody know. The question is, why you're in the Army, why didn't you think that was weird?
Oh, for sure I thought it was weird. So
did you still listen to him?
Listen to who?
R. Kelly.
At that time?
Yeah.
I'm sure I did.
Knowing that he was having sex with a 15-year-old as a grown man?
I mean, are you kidding me? The stuff that we heard with Michael Jackson, everybody's trying to verify and say, is that even possible?
The reason why I'm asking you this is so you know the DNA and the problems I have to deal with. Even though a smart man like yourself knows something is wrong, you're still going to do it and listen to it anyway.
But you don't know something's wrong. So it's kind of...
You do know... Wait a second.
No,
wait. You're telling me that if your little sister was 15 and a grown man married her or said he married her, you would know something's wrong.
There's no question about it.
And that was not a hidden thing, is what I'm telling you.
But
it was not hidden.
But you're in the world. For example, it's kind of like saying...
I'm asking the public.
Did you believe Trump was dealing with Russia? Did you believe it? Did you think he was? Because I know you're not maybe you're not supportive of him. Did you think he was colluding with Russia?
It was with the gray areas. I don't really give a fuck.
Okay, but he's your president. He would be your president, right?
He's your president. He was like, to me, my president is me. See, I don't depend on public assistance, and no disrespect to anybody that does.
Right.
But whoever is the president, only thing that's going to be affected with me is taxes. But either way, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
But
so I find Donald Trump.
Did you think he was colluding with Russia?
I was curious.
Okay, so
I think with Donald Trump, there's always a gray. I think with Donald Trump, no matter what, it's a gray area.
So were you surprised later on to find out that Hillary Clinton paid for that fake Russia collusion that took
I'm not
place?
even again. That's the politics that I think people use to distract us from paying attention to ourselves.
But what I'm
saying is I didn't give it that much thought.
Right.
And I wasn't listening to.
But it affects your taxes, though, right? And
let me tell you something, right?
Yeah.
Raping a little girl is way different. There's three things in the street you don't fuck with, no matter what: snitches, pedophiles, and rapists.
I'm with you.
So I don't give a fuck about politics. If I hear that someone is raping a little girl, I'm no longer supporting it. Period. And just because everyone else isn't looking the other way doesn't mean that you shouldn't. So you, as a common person that was, not to say common, but a person that you said was in the audience, I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know, how could you know that somebody was raping a little girl just because it was put in a different sentence structure, and you still think it's okay until the rest of the world says so?
So then I got a question for you. So you said you don't want to comment on Diddy, right? And
I didn't want to comment on it. I said there's certain things.
Well, wait a minute, though. Then it's a double standard, because with Diddy, it's been proven that what he's done with young, speculation with young boys and all these other things that coming up with 30 million.
I'm not running around.
Do you think the market needs to know about that?
But I know him personally.
Right.
You don't know Paul's Puff.
So
I know him.
I don't know R. Kelly personally. You do.
Right.
So why would I jump in conclusion if I don't know the guy personally?
What I'm saying is, if you hear a guy raped a 15-year-old.
Right.
Are you interviewing him?
He's got an open invitation.
I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't.
Yeah, that's where we differ. So I guess what I'm saying is, what I was asking, and again, I'm not saying I still fuck with Puff at all. I'm not saying I ever did. It's just, it's not for me to knock anyone down while they're down unless I had a personal problem with them. But doesn't mean I'm gonna fuck with them. It's just I'm not gonna do that. But just because I know him, but I'm not gonna be a fan. Honestly, as it relates to Michael Jackson, I still listen to Michael Jackson.
I do as well.
And I went to Never Never Land when he wasn't there with Kadada, out of curiosity.
Safe. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a kid. He would get knocked out. You know what I mean? But I wasn't jacking that though. I wasn't cool with it. So I'm just saying, I wasn't a fan of him. How could you be a fan of a person that you know? And the reason I was using you is because what do you think the average person is doing? They see things that are immoral. They look past it until it's public opinion. And I'm a person that can't look past things until it's public opinion. So we'll put it like this. If I had a problem with Puff, and I may or may not, it didn't just start after everyone started having a problem with him. I was never at none of those parties. You never seen me in no real pictures with him other than the last 20 years. And I was at his party once at the Hamptons with Aaliyah, Jennifer Lopez, and Natani. But that's it, and we left early. But just because I don't fuck with someone publicly or privately, it don't mean I'm going to diss him publicly. But if you diss me publicly, I'm getting at you if I know you.
So then let me go.
But I was just trying to say the temperature. Like, we're in a world that people look the other way. Because
I agree.
When what I said about Trump, is it all right that his whole crew went to jail? Just answer that.
I think.
Is that a good boss?
I think no one is being.
I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you, is it all right that his whole crew went to jail?
I don't think anybody is being more demonized and character.
I didn't ask you that. Don't Republican me.
Stories.
I want you to answer my question.
I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent who liked voting for Clinton, and I voted both sides.
I'm just asking you a question from an independent. If somebody's whole crew went to jail, are they a good boss?
Yeah.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no.
But I don't know. But I don't know.
Yes or no?
No, but you're also not giving the right answers.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes,
because
I am.
You're a part of, Dame, respectfully. Respectfully, I respect what you've done to the space you've been a part of. Mm-hmm. It is very hard to make it to the highest level. I got a lot of respect for you.
It depends on what you consider the highest level.
Well, where you have influence and you're able to sit down with bullies. You said you like to bully the bully. You know what's one of the affirmations I teach my kids?
Yeah, we do.
Bully the bully. Absolutely. I tell my kids.
Our new record is Punch You in the Face. That's our anti-bully record.
Yeah. So, but the point is, a lot of the things you talk about with raising boys, family, those things, we may be on the same page. In a situation right now, when I'm bringing up Diddy, the only reason I'm bringing up Diddy is because...
You can bring him up.
Yeah, the last 2 months, every day something new is coming up about
You can't not bring him up. Listen, he's the topic of conversation. Right. You can't, unless you don't bring him up, you're not going to trend.
So maybe
you got to bring him up.
Let me ask this other question. Are you familiar with Jaguar, Wright?
I'm not friendly with her, but I remember her when we did the Unplugged.
The MTV Unplugged, the Heart of the City. I think she was doing the...
She just sang background, but that's the only time I remember really interacting much. I always remember us being cool.
There's now some rumors circulating, and you can shut it down the second I say it, that there was a tie with... Jay-Z had some stuff to do with Diddy, and they're kind of both being, aligned and quiet about it.
They're in a lot of pictures together. So, yeah. What about it? I don't know. I haven't been around them in the last 10, 15 years.
Got it. Okay.
You know what's great? I don't know about certain things because I haven't been around. That's the reason why.
That's fair.
The reason why I pivoted because the gray area thing.
Yeah.
I don't play those games at all. So whatever was going on, I just never even engaged, indulged, or anything. Not even looked the other way. Doesn't look at all. I just left. So you don't see me in none of them pictures.
Has the Fed at all reached out to you for information or no?
I haven't been around him like that. I'm not around him like that. Just because we black don't mean shit.
No, that's not it. But you guys were partners. That's a partner.
Oh, me and Jay?
At one point.
Oh, why would they reach out to me for what?
I don't know. If they want to say, hey, is there anything you want to talk to us about, with what happened? They've never reached out to you.
Nah.
Because they're reaching out to a lot of weird people right now.
I'm not weird.
Okay.
They're not going to talk to me. I'm not weird.
All right. So let me ask this other question. Well, maybe within this context.
I hope they don't either. They better not come knocking at my door with that bullshit. I ain't got shit to do with none of that.
So let me ask this other question.
You see, I'm out of there.
For me, class of '96.
See, I'm the only one that can still talk. I'm the one that can come outside. I'm not hiding because I ain't got nothing to hide, and that's what I mean. I can sleep at night.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's no gray area.
You would be the one that they wouldn't want to talk. They would be worried about you knowing stuff.
you got to remember, like, people that are committing crimes only tend to commit crimes around other criminals. I'm not a criminal like that. I'm not gonna. They're not gonna do things on my watch that I'm not gonna be all right, because they know I'm gonna say something. So if I see anything that's unsavory or someone tries me, I'm not keeping that a secret, because I'm not scared of the recourse. I have no fear of any of those people. That's why I could say no, because there was no fear. You can't even ask me certain questions, because you know you're gonna get embarrassed. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if I lose that fight, I'll lose it, but I'm fighting it, and everyone gonna know what I'm fighting about, and I'm not gonna be scared of not being able to get a check from somebody, because I'll go earn my own. Or like you said, or like I said, because I'm not worried about what people perceive as a win, I'm worried about being creative, and love is my currency. I care about being able to walk in here with my family and be able to work with my family, do books with my family, go to schools, go help close down jails. Like, I think there's way better stuff that I'm doing, and that's what I noticed. What they don't talk about, what no one makes a big deal until it's too late, is, damn, I'm going into schools 3 or 4 times a week and talking to kids and teaching them how to dream, and I'm going into jails trying to get the recidivism rate down. That's the shit that matters. None of this bullshit matters. What's happening with the government, no matter who was president, them kids in Chicago are still sitting in a warehouse with no fucking outdoor space, and with a 4th grade reading education, and they still foaming at the mouth because they're giving them drugs to get out of jail called the CUT program. And they're breathing mold in the air. And we forgot about the kids. We got bigger issues. I'm not worried about other people's problems. I'm worried about my culture, the people I love and how they're being oppressed, and the cycles that need to stop, and the people that are enabling us. And that's who I be going at. Success for me and how much money I make is how I move the needle for my culture. And I'm not talking about black, white. I'm talking about creative thinking. I think politics are dumb. If we're both fighting for America, how are we going to fight each other to fight for one thing? If I'm trying to save a block and you trying to save my block, I'm not going to fight you to save the block. We're going to fight together. So instead of worrying about the bullshit, we need to worry about what's going on with these kids, why they can't read, why do they build a jail cell for every time a kid can't read past the 4th grade? That's the problem. Why is all this independent sector, the government with these big budgets, paying people to do things for the people, but they're not looking at where they're spending the money or how they're spending the money? How could a kid's jail be $1.2 a bed for a child, and they don't even let him buy a real toothbrush? That's the problems that I'm dealing with in this moment, is education and teaching, my culture. If you could, half the people that give a fuck about Trump or Biden, they probably don't even know how to get a law passed. They don't know how to lobby. They don't even know how to change things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to make a law or to make change in America is a unilateral decision. A lot of people got to agree. So that should be what we should be doing, is trying to work on how to stick together instead of what makes us separate as a social class. It's not about black or white. It's about 99% of the world that got to work for the 1%. And the way they make the 99 fight each other so that we continue to separate and work for the 1%. So either way, all these people that care about the president are paying for a billionaire, but both of them. I'm not jacking none of that. Pause, because I don't know what's going on. They're all gray areas. I can just control what I see and know. I'm not depending on the government to pay for my hospital bills. I'm not depending on the government to pay for my where I live. I'm not knocking anyone that does, but I'm in the unless it's capital gains, the 40 to 50% bracket. And I always owe taxes. So when you owe $12 million of taxes, how do you pay that back without making $24 million? But they snatching your money every day. They fucking with your working capital. You know what they don't teach you in school? How to have money. How to keep money. You know why my network is I don't know how to keep it. I never went to school. Nobody taught me how to keep money or when to pay taxes, what capital gains is, what's a trust. No one taught none of that shit. So that's what we do. We talk about people that don't matter, shit that doesn't affect our personal life, and we're worried about what other people do and what they could do for us, when we should be worried about focusing on how to do for ourselves and understanding the money is man-made. I don't give a fuck about money. There's no goal behind it. It's all a Ponzi scheme. I care about love as my currency. How much time I spend with my child. What's my net worth? I'm a dad. That I pick my kid up from school and I bring him to school. And I can bring him to work. And I can bring him to a jail. I can bring him to a school. And he's going to watch his daddy be a superhero. That's all that matters to me. So when you look at all these so-called moguls, you don't see their family life. You see contrived pictures of something that doesn't even matter on a red carpet, and their children aren't with them. I'm at home with my kids, and then I'm being creative, and I'm creating my own. Like, I direct my own movies. I get them funded or fund them myself. I put them out, distribute them myself, and then I put them on my own streaming service. That's amazing. To be able to write a book and sell 60,000 books by myself and you don't know it, that's amazing.
That's impressive.
To have my own sneakers, to have my own, all that shit is amazing.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not worried about that bubblegum shit. That's why I left it. You understand what I mean? But I'm not going to be grouped up, never. And the feds don't need to call me because if they watching or listening, they like, yo, this motherfucker just living a nice, pleasant, boring life. The only lawsuit you're going to get from me is I yelled at you. That's it. You're not going to get none of that old funny shit because that's not what I do. There is no gray area with Dame Dash. And the receipts are there. Period. I tape everything. So, yeah.
That was great. By the way, why do you think crime is so high in Chicago?
Because it's such a big state.
You think because it's a big state?
Yeah, it's like 16. See,
there's plenty of big states, but why is Chicago so high?
Go Google it. It's the reason why they say the crime rate is what's relative to how many people are there. So many people get killed because so many people are in one spot. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a big spot. That's why it is. But I would say the reason why is because the government enables the kids. They're not doing anything to stop it. It's happening worldwide. They're getting kids used to going to jail.
So you think
what
it's
happens
bad policies?
I just think that if you put a kid in a situation where he has enemies and then take him away to go to jail and come back and put him back in the same situation, he going back to jail. I think if you don't educate a child and you disenfranchise his family, you're going to jail.
Rob, could you pull up the clip? Could you pull up the clip by Ice Cube? I'm curious, and I still have one last question within that context that I go back to, but I want to play this clip for you. Here's Cube with Bill Maher, okay? And I kind of want you to hear this and tell me if you agree with him. Go for it.
Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
True.
So,
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, you know, it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that...
It seems obvious.
You know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee. Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, you know, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what the, you know, a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. You know, a lot of people, you know, feel like they're being controlled by the label.
You can
this
stop
is
right
how they
there,
do
Rob.
it.
What are your thoughts on what he's saying here?
It's true. It's obvious. You never told me if a boss is a good boss if his whole crew goes to jail. Not Trump, just in general.
If his
whole crew goes to jail, he's around the mob.
Right.
If his whole crew goes to jail, is he a good boss?
You ever been to jail?
Can you answer my question?
I don't judge it that way.
I'm asking you a question.
I wouldn't judge it that way.
Okay. So you don't judge a good boss by how good his family rolls?
Well, let me ask you a different question.
But I'm asking you a question.
How about I ask you a different question? Here's the question for you.
I'm asking you a question.
How do you judge a boss if 47 people around them get killed?
I didn't ask you that. Oh, it depends. If it depends on if it was 4,000 people and only 47 got killed, then I'll say that's not a bad odd.
Got it. Then it depends. Would be the answer,
I asked
right?
you if his whole crew goes to jail.
Yeah.
Is he a good boss?
I thought you were trying to unify. Now you're trashing the president.
I'm not,
I mean, what kind of a unifier are you? What happened?
Wait.
Choose a position.
No, don't. You can't tell me what to do.
Tell me.
Listen. You're not listening.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that about Trump. I'm saying that in general. Yeah. Forget Trump. If you're a boss and your man right there and everyone that's in here goes to jail but you, are you a good boss?
So was Sugar good boss?
You're not going to answer my question, huh?
Because it depends. It's the same answer you gave.
I'm not talking about another man.
I would tell you it depends.
Okay. So it in
depends.
what way could your whole crew go to jail and you're a good boss?
But in what way can 47 associates close to you get killed?
What does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
I'm asking a question from you.
But you're not answering mine. You're not answering mine.
Because I'm giving you the same answer you're giving.
I didn't give you. Wait, I'm asking you a question. No, I'm asking you. All I said was.
It depends.
I didn't say it depends. I said if a boss goes, if his whole crew goes to jail and he does not, is he a good boss? I'm not talking about Trump.
You are talking about.
No, I'm not. You know how many motherfuckers I know whose whole crew went to jail?
Yeah.
That's just the shoe fits wearing. I don't have no beef with this. Let me get it clear.
Tell me.
I'm not in here to be Trump bashing or Biden bashing or any of that. I'm just asking you a question of logic, not about politics.
Dame, do you think racism exists?
So you're not going to answer my question.
But I gave it to you. I said it depends.
That's not an answer. You know that.
Do you think racism exists?
Of course it does.
It does.
Yeah. I'm racist as fuck. So funny about that.
Yeah, you said you're racist yourself?
Yeah.
Why are you?
I'm against bitch ass niggas.
Okay. So, but is that skin color or could that be white, black, Asian, anything?
White, black, Asian, anything.
Okay. So let me specify. Do you think racism towards a skin color or nationality, ethnicity exists?
There's definitely things that I assume because of color. If you want to call that racism, just because of natural experience. And
so what do you think about when you see a white guy, executive of a major label? What do you think about?
Of a major
label, like music label. Let's just say.
Let me finish. Yeah. A major black label. If a white guy's running a black label, that's problematic for me.
If a white guy's running a black label, how about a black guy running a white label?
It doesn't happen, but it doesn't matter. I think there's no such thing as a white label. That's what's funny, right? When you go into music, there's black music, but there's no white music. They don't have a white music division. It's just a black music division. Why is that? Is that racist?
So
I'm asking you, is that racist?
Can you be? I'm not in the space, so I don't know. So be specific. Like who has a black?
Every music.
Do they say black or do they say hip hop? Because Eminem is white and he sold more records.
I'm not sugarcoating shit. Yeah. I said it's called black music. Head of black music.
I'm not black and I listen to hip hop.
It's not what you're not answering any of my questions, bro.
Yeah.
I said, is it racist?
Invite me on your podcast. I'll answer your questions.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
Come to America New. You owe me that.
I'm with you.
That's my thing.
I'm game. I'm with you. Right. I'm with you.
What I'm saying is there is a black music division in every label. There is.
Okay.
And there isn't a white music division in every label.
Okay.
So I'm asking you, is that racist? But you're not going to answer. It's going to depend. I know.
No, I don't know the facts, too.
I gave you the facts. You do know the facts now.
No, I don't know.
I'm telling you the facts.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
I would say
what's your net worth?
A hip-hop
What's your net worth?
division.
What's your net worth?
I got a couple dollars. Yeah.
So you asked me, and I'm asking you, what's your net worth?
Put it between 300 to 500.
300 or 500 million?
Yeah.
Oh, send something over.
Send some what?
Send something over. When you say net worth, that means you looking at $500 million cash?
Yes.
Do you pay taxes on it?
Cash, I would say shy of 200 cash.
Oh yeah, send something over, man.
Yeah.
You want? I'm at an auction. I'm about to sell my interest of Reasonable Doubt, Roc-A-Fella Inc.
Okay.
You want to buy it?
What's it going for?
It's at auction.
At auction?
Yeah.
Tell me. Send me an information. I'll look into it.
I'm telling you.
Send it to me if it's an auction.
I'm talking. It
I'm going to be able to bid. No, you said auction. As an auction,
no,
you
said how much is it? It says at auction, but you have a judgment. So once anything
I have
past
a feeling
judgment,
our dinner would be 10 times better than this podcast because
you paying for it.
I don't have a problem paying for it. There's no question. Can I ask you this one selfish question?
How do you look at $500 million? I would blow all of that shit. Well, how did you save it? You save it? You just look at it?
Yeah. Well,
what do you look at? You look at your money?
But you ask
how often do you look at your bank account? Like say, let me make sure I got it.
Once a quarter, I meet with my guy.
You meet your guy?
Yeah. Once a quarter. We meet with the whole team.
It's too hard. saving money is so hard. When I'm saying saving it, like when money's sitting, there's so many laws that come with it. And unless you're savvy about how to hold it, you're going to lose it, man.
But you know what it is?
So hard. Pause.
Well, I lost everything at 23, 24, 25, the first time I made money.
23 years old. I just supposed to lose
totally
everything.
get it. But
I lose everything every year.
But let me tell you, when I hit rock bottom at 25, my entire mindset changed.
What's rock bottom, jail?
No, I didn't go to jail.
What was rock bottom?
No, rock bottom is...
What's your version of rock bottom?
Lost financially. I'm about to file bankruptcy. I don't have a penny to my name.
That's not rock
All
bottom.
my credit cards are maxed out. Relationships are gone.
That's not rock
Girlfriend, fiance, and I'm about to go back into the military. To me, at 24, 25...
That wasn't rock bottom.
That was rock bottom for me.
You're spoiled.
You're so funny.
Let me tell you something. Rock bottom is when you don't have a place to live.
Yeah.
And you're a drug addict and you don't have your health.
No, that's not.
And you're not mentally stable.
Financially rock bottom. Financially rock
25,
bottom.
25, everyone's financially rock bottom.
Yeah, well, but
these are the, you know
but what it did do, you know what I did learn?
Kids usually are in college, coming out of college with fucking debt right now, getting a job.
You know Warren Buffett, obviously. And you know Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is his partner that passed away.
Yeah.
There's a book he wrote called The Poor Charlie's Almanac. It's a very good book for you to have in the house. Just kind of look through. They interviewed his kids, and they said, what did Charlie talk about during dinner with you guys? He said, that's the book right there, by the way. He said, Dad always talked about people he knew that could have been rock stars that totally ruined their lives because of bad decisions. He taught more how to make bad decisions and avoid them than how to make good decisions. A lot of times when we get money or fame or success, sometimes you don't know how to handle the limelight. Sometimes you don't know how to handle the money.
How do you... Again, how does somebody coming from a social class of 99% understand day one how to deal with
zero? I'm with you. But for sure.
But I'm saying at 24, let's say you're broke. It's hilarious. Everyone at 24 is broke right now. Just ask Gen Z.
No, but what I'm saying. But I was a worker and I was a sales guy. I was a guy that actually worked my ass off.
I think it was way worse at the time than you thought. In hindsight, now
the worst point of my life was living in Iran, going through a war till 10 years old, and we got bombed 167 times in a day. That's real stuff that we have.
Where did that happen?
Iran.
You're from Iran?
I'm from Iran. Yeah, I was born in 78. We left Iran at 89. So I lived in Iran for almost 11 years. Yeah. So, but going back, selfish question. Dame, say whatever you want to this answer. Okay. Just want to see what you're going to say.
You do know I'm always going to say whatever I want.
I know you are. I know you are.
You don't ever have to permit it.
Yeah. I
don't need the permission.
You don't need no one's permission.
I know.
But selfishly for
me. That's the question.
Okay, Dame. Come on, historian. Here, selfishly.
I'm not a historian. I'm high a lot. I'm very cloudy.
Well, at this point, after spending an hour and a half with you, I'm probably high as well because I've been smelling it for an hour and a half.
Well, I ain't been smoking it, but if I could, I will light up.
Yeah. So, but here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. Do you know yourself? You don't have to say it. Do you know for a fact yourself who killed Tupac and who killed Biggie?
I've heard.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay, got it.
I mean, all I know is what I saw on the documentary there, but I don't know if I believe any of that shit.
Got it. Got it.
So, like the thing about algorithms is, and what I see, especially with social media and things that pop up on your phone, they just push certain things every day to where it becomes like, if you see something 7 times or someone tell you something 7 times, you memorize it no matter what. Like a song. If you hear a song you hate 7 times straight because your kid likes it, you're going to know the song. So there's things that I don't want to know about all day, but because they're put like this Puff situation, every day, all day, conspiracy be about Puff, conspiracy about Jay, conspiracy about this one, conspiracy about that one, all day long. I'm just happy that I'm not clear if it's true or not because I wasn't around those guys for the last 10 years. And I made the choice for certain reasons. So that should tell you enough.
What was your reason?
I didn't want to get caught up in the gray area. You have to be like, see, when Nancy Reagan did that slogan, just say no, I took it to heart. Just say no. You have to know how to say no.
Be careful with that. She was a Republican. Be very careful.
Why? See, what you're doing is trying to divide us. And I never said that I'm for or not for. I didn't say that. All I did was there's things about Joe Biden that I'll bring up that I'll say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in one instance, just because I want someone to validate and I want to know what their morals are like. So listen to me. If I ask somebody, and this is not a question I ask about Trump. This is because I want to know the nature of the person. If you're doing well and the rest of your crew is not, are you a good boss? Now, there are people that will say yes. And then I say, I'm not fucking with that person.
I don't agree with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's the nature. So for me, again, I look at how people look at things to know how much business I want to do with them.
Yeah.
So if you're a guy that says, yo, if my whole crew goes to jail, that means you're going to sell your crew under the bus. That usually means you're a rat, and it usually means that you're getting people to do the work that you should be doing yourself. But I don't want anyone to ever walk away from having an experience with me. Now, look, even though maybe some of the people that I put on aren't having the best lives, but when Jay's not with me, he's a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Kanye, when he chooses to be, is a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Kev Hart, Lee Daniels, Rachel Roy. People don't walk away from me going to jail. They walk away from me going to a bank. Now, is that a good boss?
That's a builder. That's a builder leader.
Is that a good boss?
I don't know if I define it as a boss.
What do you define a boss?
Leader.
So we might have two definitions.
Leader.
A boss isn't a leader?
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. To me,
you're not gonna like that you said that. You have to lead by example when you're the boss.
I agree.
So how is he not the leader?
No, some people, when it comes down to
then that's not a real boss. If a company can't run without the boss,
we're probably saying the same thing.
If a company
it's just
can't
the
run,
definition for me.
If a company can't, and maybe the words are different.
That's what it is. We're saying the same thing.
But if a company can't run without the boss, you're not a good boss.
Well, when I was 28 years old, I'll tell you this. So Dave.
Everybody, listen to me. I made a record because I'm also in a rock band called the Black Guns, and I have a record out coming out with.
Can he Google it or no?
Yeah. 365. I wasn't mad. See, you think because I bring something up,
I'm having fun with you.
I'm having way more fun with you. I'm having way more fun with you. But I don't want you to have a bunch of Republicans on my door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? So stop that shit.
We're
narrative.
We're gonna be lobbying Dame Dash to be.
I knew once I saw the American flag, I said, "Oh, it's gonna."
We love America, man. I mean,
so you're like one of them.
Rather have an Iranian flag
I don't even care about that. Are you one of those obsessed kind of guys with this guy?
Which guy?
Trump.
No, I love America.
But motherfuckers are. I didn't ask you that. You don't. You know what I noticed, that I can't get a direct question out of people that love that guy.
No, nothing. What do you want to know about the relationship?
I didn't ask you your relationship. I said, are you obsessed with him? Because this is an.
No, I'm obsessed with my family. My dreams, our vision.
Let me speak. What I see that
we're about to get into a big argument.
No, we're not.
Dave, don't do this.
It's not an argument.
We're doing good.
It's not an argument. It won't be good unless there's an argument. What I see are people obsessed with him, living vicariously through him from a certain social class.
Sure.
And it's either they're really broke without teeth in their mouth, and usually not the brightest, and probably never voted until they had to do this.
Okay.
And then I see people that sometimes have a lot of money that want their taxes cut. And for me, the reason why I can't get involved, because there are certain things that I can't look away from. So I don't get involved because, it might be in my best interest from the tax bracket I'm in when I have money to be a Republican. But I come from the 99%. But now I'm seeing a lot of the 99% of Republicans, and the whole Republican Party is completely different than it was before. You know, not everyone's wearing a suit at the Republican Party anymore. A lot of people don't even take showers. You know, no disrespect, but I don't want to say it like that, but sometimes you see them. I
want to make sure, I took a shower this morning.
You look
I'm part
like
of the Independent Party.
But it'd be people that be like no teeth in their mouth that are just obsessed with this man. And then, so I'm not mad at him because he hasn't ever really said nothing bad about me. And I was around him and his family, and I ain't going to, again, it's like when you know people, you can't just diss them. I can't do that. Even if there's a problem with the rest of the public perception, if we were cool at one point, we're going to be cool. But I just see that people are fanatical about him. That's all. And that is, to me, fanatical.
I think you're making a good argument.
Fanatical is problematic to me because whenever there's fanatical, whenever there's fanatical, there's always some bullshit that comes with it. It's a gray area.
I think the same could be said about Obama. Obama, people were fanatical about him. That was dramatically fanatical. Like he was Black Jesus for a lot of people. No. They were hardcore fanatical.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If there was ever a president of America from Iran, do you know what that would mean for the people of Iran? Meaning that are from there, to know that and someone from Iran could actually be a president, even if he was a bad or good president. For us as Black people, we never saw a Black president. It didn't matter if he was a good or bad.
Oh, I agree. You're taking it as a negative. I'm not saying it as a negative. I'm saying that guy was a hero.
I was saying that the fanatical part isn't. I don't see the fanatical part you're saying. And if you can compare the two, that would be a little suspect.
Oh, that's exactly. I mean, what you got from the
Wasn't
left.
nobody wearing hats and doing all this violence and rushing the motherfucking ticket. Well, come on, bro. He actually turned white people into black people. That shit was funny as hell. He had motherfuckers breaking shit and running into stuff. That was a proper riot. Like, not only, and again, I'm not dissing the man, but I'm just looking at the circumstance. Not only did his whole crew...
What do you have against him? What did he do to you?
I don't have anything against him.
Why does he trigger you? Why do you get upset about Trump?
Why do you think I'm upset about Trump? You're trying to make that
Because
narrative.
you keep coming back 5, 6 times
You brought
to
it
him.
up. You just brought up... that's, to me, Trump is
Tell me how I brought it up.
Listen, Trump is white Diddy.
Trump is white Diddy?
People talk about Trump all day long because he's
not a lot. What's being linked to Diddy is young boys. There's nothing about that with Trump is beautiful woman. Young boys with.
You're not hearing. See, you're not letting me.
Diddy is young boys.
Listen to what I'm
Bieber video.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Living with him at
listen to what I'm saying.
These are concerning stuff.
For black people, everyone is going to be talking about Diddy for Puff right now. For white people, everyone's going to be talking about Trump. So Trump has the most charges out right now, so people are going to ask about him and talk about him. Diddy, Puff, has the most charges.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay, I got
so
you. No,
that's why I'm asking you. You're asking me about, so...
Yeah, but
wait, no, it's not different. You asking me 30 questions about Puff, and me asking you 2 questions about Trump. Maybe the question is what you got against Puff.
I don't.
Why you keep asking me about him?
Because I think he was behind Tupac's murder.
So, but why you keep asking me? Why you?
Because if you really want to know,
but why you asking me about him?
Because you're in the space. I'm not in the space.
Now, that's racist. That's racist.
Are you kidding me? From 95, 96, when the
What year is it now? It's 2025.
When Tupac died 95,
that was 25 years. That was 25 years ago.
And that's who I'm talking to, the most qualified guys from that era.
I am not the most qualified guy from that era.
Come on.
I'm just black in that era.
Dame, I'm asking
I'm from the East Coast. I'm not.
Brother, so you're talking 94, November 3rd,
I'm talking 2024 Trump.
I know. What I'm asking you
You're talking 1996 Puff.
Dude, 95, you guys started freaking Roc-A-Fella 96.
Yeah, I've been rolling for 30, 40 years.
Do you know who Greg Kading is?
No.
Greg Kading is the detective who was on the Biggie case and the Tupac case.
Oh, you back to that again.
Okay. So
it's so funny. Is that trending or some shit?
No, it's not. I'm telling you, like, listen, if you want to know who, I've interviewed everybody I can get my hands on with the JFK assassination. Yeah. I'm curious, guy.
But I'm not that guy. I don't know.
I understand that, and now I know that you're not the guy. So I
never said I was the guy.
I'm heartbroken. You know, tonight
you're heartbroken because I can't tell you about Puff?
No, because I was hoping to get more intel.
Can you send me, you want to do an investment or something? You got $300 million. Let's talk some business, B. I don't want to talk no gossip. I want to get some money. What we doing?
What are we doing?
You let me know. Send something over. I'll flip it. Pause. Send something over. What are we doing?
Let's see what we got here. Give me a second here. Okay. All right, I got a couple last questions for you before we wrap up. Let me see what you're going to say about this. See if we can even get an answer here. I'm hoping we can. Dame,
from you, if I ask you a question, I ain't getting no answer.
Dame, question for you.
I'm not even going to ask you one.
AI, how do you think AI is going to affect hip-hop?
Hip-hop?
Like, ChatGPT, people are sitting there, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to process. I think that ChatGPT as relates to lyrics, I don't know that will help, but, it's cheating. But I think that if artist wants to be a boss and put his own stuff out, ChatGPT can organize a lot of business for them, like make decks and, that kind of thing. If you know how to use ChatGPT, it can help a boss cut a lot of costs. If you're dependent on people to give you a job, it might take your job. It depends on how you look at it. There's a yin and a yang of everything. There's a dark and a good of everything. You know what I'm saying?
So if Dame today is 22 years old, how would you leverage AI today in hip-hop? If it's a 22-year-old Dame?
There would be no assistance. You know what I mean? I'd be writing my own deck. Notes, even down to like Zoom and AI while you do Zoom and all, just the little things, a lot of little things, and also organizing my thoughts. So like if I have a treatment and I wouldn't have to hire someone to write a treatment, I could have it write it for. There's a lot of things that if you know what AI does as a boss, you can eliminate costs. So if I look at AI, my perspective is how much cost can I eliminate by using AI. So this time, instead of paying a lawyer to write a legal letter, I just go to AI. You know what I mean? If there's some facts I need to know. You have to be smart to know how to use AI. Like, if you're good at movies, you can make scripts with it. It doesn't mean it's writing it for you. It just organizes it for you. If you know how to, if you're in the movie business, you can, instead of hiring a line producer to break a script down, you could just have it break a script down. So it takes a lot of the little jobs away that cost $1,200 here, $1,500 here, just to take notes or just to organize or just to break things down. It does a lot of that for you. So
on the creative side, you don't think it's going to do anything on the creative side? Or do you think it can have an impact?
I think that it's going to, like, there's vinyl, then there's digital.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a place for vinyl, the AI. There's going to be, or digital AI. There's going to be a place for vinyl, which will be real. I don't think you'll ever be able to replace the show with AI because people want to see people sweat. You know, anything that's physical, a physical thing, like, you know, the music business, the way you make your money is through the show. Contrary to what anybody thinks, it's through your show and your merch. So if you know, you might have AI design your merch, but you know, you physically have to still get it made. And you know, there's these holograms, but you know, I don't think people are going to pay to see a hologram. You're going to have to be on stage. So no matter what, fundamentally in the music business, you have to know how to route a tour. You have to know how to build your brand. You have to make your octopus with your 7 legs, and you have to be able to take advantage of the music being a commercial to stimulate maybe 8 other things. That's important. Now, again, I'm not sitting with $500 million in the bank, but I think I have more fun than you.
I don't know about that.
100%.
I don't know about that.
100%.
You think you have more fun than me?
Well, come on, bro.
I'm telling you, I don't think you have more fun than me.
There's no way you have.
You think so?
Do you like? Wait, are you creative?
I am very creative.
What do you do? Creative. Let me see.
Creatively?
Yeah. Let's go video for video, movie for movie.
No, not at your level.
So what? No, I'm not. Wait. I'm not a professional singer.
No, but you are. I'm
a professional. Like you said, I'm a brand builder. But I'm saying on a creative level, what do you do?
You said
for
fun,
creativity.
Right?
For creativity, for fun. What do you do for creativity?
Are you kidding me? Like everything we do here, I'll show you afterwards what we do upstairs.
Can you tell me?
Yeah,
So your name is Mr. No Direct Answer.
We run a...
But direct questions, but no direct answer?
You should be a comedian, Dan.
Well, you know, I discovered...
You got your humor from your father. Wait, I know. I remember you saying that.
But you know I discovered Kevin Hart.
Tell me.
What you mean? I took him off the stage and put him in directed his first movie. See, you don't even know. Paper Soldiers. Get on the Google. Come on, get it. There you go.
What do you think about him?
I'm mad at him because he won't post my shit on Instagram because I caught him wearing Uggs one day and I'm funnier than him when we snap. So he's my little man, and I just wish that the guys that I did help without having to, you don't have to do anything, but if it doesn't cost you money, the support would be good. But, you know, hopefully he didn't do no funny shit. There's Paper Soldiers, there's Kevin Hart. Boom, bang, bang, boom.
Respect.
It's in his book.
Respect.
You didn't even know that. Look, blew your mind again.
I didn't know this. This I didn't.
Did you know I put
Kevin
on?
Hart on. I had Kevin Hart perform at one of our events 5 years ago.
He didn't even tell you about it, right? I'm the guy that put him on. Discovered him next day. Put him in a movie. First 2 or 3.
And by the way, he's killing it, and he's going to be a billionaire.
Well, it's just that when you say you should be a comedian, I hit you with some mega boss shit and say, bong, I just discovered the best.
You are funny, though, Dame. You got a very interesting sense of humor with a 3-second delay. It takes me 3 seconds to. Okay, let me ask you a question here. Rap. Top 5 greatest all time. Instead of saying you can't say it, let's see.
Bro, I've been in rap my whole life.
So who's your top 5?
My top 5 rapper?
Ever, all time.
You'd be surprised. The ones I like.
I actually don't think I'll be surprised.
Like OC.
Okay.
Chubb Rock. I think Busta Rhymes is off the hook.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Busta Rhymes could rap. Most Def. It's too many. That's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of people that I like for different reasons, as far as rap goes. You know, Biggie. But you know, the thing about it is, you know, Biggie only had a couple of years, so it's curious. Like I look at the whole career. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm curious to know what Jimi Hendrix would have looked like past 27. You know what I mean? 30, 40, or Janis Joplin, or all these rock stars. So, you know, it's easy to be cool when you're young. It's hard. Not for me. But when you're really cool, when you're 50, I'm 53. I've been rolling since I'm like 19, 18. I've been in the public eye. I'm still relevant now. Why? I haven't had to hit anything in a while. You know what I mean? I've been just focusing. My retirement now has been just learning how to love and healing. You know, I have a lot of unrecognized trauma. So, you know, things that I thought were normal are not. Like, imagine this life that you know how you're talking to me, this shit was normal to me. It was normal to walk away. It was normal to tell people that things weren't right and people not listen. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, I think I'm the only one that's just not compromised. There is no funny little tapes on me. There is no conspiracy of people, and what they are like.
That's tough to do. Good for you.
It's not. It's not tough if you're not a scumbag.
In that space, though.
If you're thorough, like again, like you know, I'm a real. Not to say like I don't want to say anyone else isn't, but I'm just a guy that was never scared to say no, and was never scared to say, yo, you're not going to compromise. Or see what happens is once somebody got something on you, they control you. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they get people in a compromising situation, and now they've shared a crime. And one could always tell on you.
Well, that's what they say about Diddy, the fact that he had cameras in every single room and recorded and had so much info on him. They're calling him the Epstein of hip-hop industry.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, yeah.
And if it's true, he deserves what he gets.
Yeah.
If it's not true, then he doesn't deserve it.
For sure, innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly, but I'm not leaning toward anything. I know, again, I just know that there was certain energy I stood away from. And, you know, you could tell by the pictures which energy that was.
Good for you. Last question, we wrap up. I'm going to give you 5 rappers. See if you can rank them, okay?
I don't rank rappers.
Just, dude, help me with this, seeing which one of these guys you think are better, okay? You got Nas, you got Andre 3000. You got M, you got Tupac, you got Biggie.
Mm-hmm. Biggie and Pac died early. Mm-hmm. Andre 3000 doesn't do shows, but he could rap. Who else?
Nas and then Eminem.
Nas, what about him? Eminem is white, and he could rap really well, and he could really rap, but he's still white. And what's
what does that mean? He's still white.
If you were to ask about hip hop,
yeah,
out of 10 white people that came in here, would any of them be specialists if they were from that era? Probably not, other than Eminem. If you were to ask 10 black people from that era, like myself, about hip hop, they would know. Because in that moment, hip-hop was a black sport created by black people. So it's hard for a black man to say a white man is the best at anything that's supposed to be a black sport. You're not going to get that from me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm racist.
At least you're consistent.
I don't call it racist, but racist is when you judge a man for his color to me. I don't judge a person because of the color of their skin. I judge them because of the color of their soul. You know, I'm racist in that way. You know, but also, I also rock out with the culture. When I say I look for the biggest impact. I don't consider success what most people consider success. And I don't want anyone on here to I'm not saying anything about, again, when I know people, I'm not, like, even though I don't agree with a person, it don't mean I'm going to diss them in public. If we have an issue, or if I disagree with you out of respect for the relationship, we'll take care of it behind closed doors. So you're asking about questions about people that I might run into and be like, yo, why you was talking about me on this? You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about that. So I'm not doing that because we've had, like, Puff and I have had those interactions where it's like, yo, why are you calling me out on the radio? We have, you know, we don't do that with each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, regardless of what's going on, I just still respect certain morals, because just because someone ain't right don't mean I'm going to not be right. And I just consider it chatty, like girly, to talk about people when they're not there, unless they've done something to me personally that I need to rectify as it relates to narrative. You know, so there's a narrative about me that there's things that, you know, I'm difficult, blah, blah, blah. And that's coming from people that have conspired against me so that they could get the money that they're trying to get, and, you know, they want to use my business model, or they want to get with one of my artists or artists I work with and become their, you know, source of business accrement. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to me doing it. Like, you can't get no money with him if I'm around. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't jerk that man pause if I'm around. I'm not going to let this man do something corny. I'm not talking about Jay. I'm talking about in general. I'm the guy that's always protected the artist. I'm the guy that protects the culture. I'm the guy that's I'm the least toxic. So in business, what's toxic to you? Something that if you buy it, you could get a lawsuit. That's toxic. The only lawsuit you're going to get out of me is I yelled at somebody. There's no gray areas. And I've been through it. So I've had lawyers, because being accused of something is part of the game. And it's not true. So I've been accused of sexual assault and went through full trials, and that person be straight lying. You know, I just went through one. Straight lying. And they'll put it in the newspaper when they accuse you of it, but they never put you in the newspaper when you...
Innocent.
So I won. This girl, Monique, tried to say that, you know, because I got sued for defamation, but allegedly I said I caught her stealing because I said the words wrong, and she came out and said that I sexually assaulted her and all this other shit, and it was so far from the truth. Not even a gray area. So I took it to trial and beat it. But it was all over the New York Times. It was all over the news. When I won, not a word. Same lawyer, pause, named Chris Brown. See, what they've been doing, there's this hustle. Like, I'll say allegedly, just so this bastard can't sue me, because that's what he always does. So I'll do a movie with somebody or something, and we'll have an agreement. You promote it, we promote it, blah, blah, blah. I go promote it. They take the copyright. They take the asset. They go copyright it behind my back and then say, I violated the copyright, impeached on the copyright. So as if I hurt the business. It's like a setup. So they've done this like 3-4 times. This dude, Chris Brown, pause, allegedly. I'm going to just keep saying allegedly no matter what because they keep suing me. Not the
It's actually a good clothing brand.
Not the
allegedly.
singer. Yeah, it should be. That's a good one. So you chewing to a clothing brand?
I'm overdoing allegedly.
Yo, you
got the allegedly hat.
So did you make that suit? You got tailored?
Nah, this is Tom Ford.
Wait. You have a couple $100 million in the bank and you buying off the rack?
No. This is Tom Ford's 007 suit I got on. This is a Stefano Ricci shirt.
So did you buy that out of a store or was it tailored up or what happened?
This is tailored up. This is...
So wait, you went you went to a thing and they tailored it up for Tom Brown?
I'm really curious to know where you're going with this.
I'm just curious to know what
you want to get into suit business? Is that what you want?
I make suits. I was trained in Savile Row. I make all my suits and my shirts and everything.
Really?
So I was going to make sure there's no glue in there. I was like, yo, I want to make sure. So you said that's a Tom Brown or Tom Ford?
Tom Ford. You know Tom Ford?
Yeah.
You know Tom Ford.
Not like, we've run into each other in fashion. Not personally, I say what's up. I don't like the fact that he said that he could bone any man. Pause. I didn't like that. So you got to be careful when you wear someone's brand. You represent exactly what they are.
I actually agree. So what do you not wear at all?
I'm not wearing Tom Ford.
What else do you not wear?
I usually wear my own brand. So like my man Willie Esco made this. My man Barter made these. I wear my own sneakers. These are my own glasses. It's nothing I won't wear, but if I know a person, and so what happens when you buy a brand, you're buying what they represent. So no disrespect to being gay or anything, I'm just not gay. So if a gay man, and that's what he's projecting, like he's been and said, like, yo, every man could get boned. This is what he said. You know what I'm saying? I saw it on thing, so I'm like, I'm not wearing none of that shit because that's the lifestyle that it represents.
So he's gay? Tom Ford is gay?
Yeah, allegedly. You didn't know that?
Allegedly brand. See where you keep going back to?
Nah, I just don't want to get sued.
Listen, I mean,
it doesn't matter, but yeah, Tom Ford.
You wear that gear.
Wait, Tom Ford is like proud of it, bro. What are you talking about?
Let me see here.
Yeah, you better watch what you wear, bro. You don't really know what you're saying. I'm serious. Like motherfuckers be like, if you look at a brand and it's about saying this shit and you wear it.
I had no idea.
Because Tom Ford, like at $300-400 million in the bank, you should be doing Lyor Piana.
Little what?
Lyor Piana. You know what that?
No. Let me tell you what I like.
Let me get you right. You want me to make you a suit? How much that suit cost? I'm going to make you a suit.
Let me tell you what I like.
If you got that cake, if you're going to do a suit, you got to do it to death.
Are you familiar with Stefano Ricci?
Sounds familiar.
That's what I like.
Stefano Ricci is who?
Stefano Ricci.
He designed, it's just a straight designer?
Stefano Ricci is the man. I mean, that's
Let me see Stefano Ricci.
Go to Stefano Ricci. Stefano
Yeah.
Ricci is what I like. Purely from Italy. Everything they do is they make.
See, I like British suits.
You do?
I don't like
they do.
Italian suits are too.
Yeah.
I like a British, I'm Savile Row. That's why I really got trained in Savile Row. But go ahead, what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying this is what I wear.
But that's Tom Brown.
This is Tom Ford.
Tom Ford, rather.
Yeah. But you just taught me something about Tom Ford.
And Tom Brown.
This is what happens when you hang with Dame.
Well, I break down everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'll be like, so I'll wear Ralph Lauren because he kind of, he's a guy. His name was Ralph Lipschitz, right? I like the way he built his brand and ties. He got to deal with Bloomingdale's, and then he expanded his categories, blah blah blah. But he's from the Bronx. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Ralph Lipschitz. So I know what he represents. Like, to me, when you wear a brand, you have to understand the DNA of the brand because you put it on your clothes. That's why the name of my brand is CEO.
Is this why you respect Kanye when it comes down to fashion? Because you said he took fashion to a whole different level. You said, I'm in it, but he took it to a whole different level.
Yeah, I mean, he cracked the French code. The French never fuck with black people before. He cracked it. Now, I wasn't impressed with nothing he did until he brought me that Louis Vuitton sneaker. And I was like, yo, you got the French to fuck with you? You ever hire somebody from France? You can't fire them. Well, if you're in France, they think they can't get fired. So, at one time when I was starting Rachel Roy, I crewed up. I went and got like the president of Givenchy of France. But when she got to America, she didn't know shit about anything in America, and she just thought I couldn't fire her because you can't fire nobody in France.
When are you guys leaving? You leaving right now, right after this?
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
next time you're in town, we got to do dinner at the house.
All right. And
Next time you're in town,
well, actually, you have to come through now. You owe me an interview.
no problem.
So I'm in Winter Haven. I'm 2 hours away. Just come on up, take your helicopter. You got a jet?
Rob, this is going to continue like this for a long time to come. I can't wait to break bread.
Let's break some bread.
Talk. Anyways, this was a blast, Dame. Brother, appreciate you for coming out. This was great. Folks, just so you know, Dame is also on Connect. If you got any questions, you can connect with Dame. That's the QR code right there.
You started Connect? Is that your thing?
Yeah, Connect is... download the app, pay to ask any questions you want. Any questions you want, you can ask him on Connect. We talked about a lot of different things. Connect, one and only Dame Dash.
Did you build that, or did you like?
Do you know the story of it? No. 8 years ago, I have a call with a lawyer. 7-minute call, he bills me for 30 minutes. I call him back. I said, "Why are you billing me for 30 minutes?" He says, "Because minutes roll up."
Yo, lawyers ain't shit. I'm going to arbitration with a lawyer. What do you do when you tell your lawyer? Like, I tell my lawyer to do something when I pay him, he don't do it.
Yeah.
And then he tried to bill me from shit I didn't ask him to do, and I'm like, I'm not paying for that. And now we in fucking court. I hate lawyers, bro. I hate them.
Well, that's exactly why I created this.
Fucking hate lawyers.
So I went to the lawyer and I said, "I want to pay you by the minute." He says, "No lawyer charges by the minute." I said, "I'm going to build an app one day where I get to pay people by the minute." So this is, do you have a minute to connect? Yes. Let's connect.
It's like Cameo.
It's like Cameo. The difference is Cameo, you ask people for their birthdays. Here you have conversation with them. And every time you ask them any questions, you pay for it. 95% of the time people get back to you here. Less than 5% of the time people get back to you on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll see here. You're going to fall in love with this app. Anyways.
How much am I charging? How much you charge?
You put your price.
How much you charge?
I'm my texts, I respond 100% in audio. I do $100. Then I think I'm $300. Then my 15-minute call is $9,000.
Wait a second. Now, what we need to talk about is after a man has a couple $100 million in the bank,
yeah,
and he's still texting motherfuckers, that's a different kind of savage.
There's only difference, though. You ready for this?
What?
Because I don't answer anything else anywhere else but on Connect.
I'm just saying that you're still hustling.
Oh, there's no question about it,
like,
brother.
Honestly, the way that all that work, I'd be like, damn, this nigga might be broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Oh, you got your man. Okay.
Yeah, you got a few guys on there that you can ask questions with.
Yeah, I ain't going to be able to be up there.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Dame, thank you. Gang, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You got people that told.